Hey there, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Travis and Damian Podcast. We are available on anchor.fm/Travis Damian Podcast, along with iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many more. We're bringing you guys an extra episode for this week because there's been so much news, and especially with a certain thing that we're going to talk about later on that surprisingly happened. So we're going to talk about the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, PlayStation State of Play, the ProJared Situation, and then lastly we will discuss Life is Strange 2, Episode 3, full spoilers. So, first up is the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. It is full of spoilers for Endgame, so if you haven't seen it yet, obviously don't watch it. Even Tom Holland warned you about it, but I thought this trailer was great. It actually makes sense as to why this movie is the end of Phase 3 now, because a lot of people were like, why is this the end of Phase 3 and not Endgame? But now it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I also felt the same way, because I'm like, why is this the movie to end it? I mean, like, because, they all come back from dust, obviously. Like, we all know they were going to get reverted back. But I was always like, well, why is this the end of Phase 3? But now I'm like literally the first second's like, I can't believe Iron Man's dead. So I'm like, oh, yeah. We have spoilers here, by the way, for Endgame. But that should be, obvious, because this whole trailer is a spoiler, like Travis said. But, and I think that's a really cool idea, because, Peter Parker was super close to Tony Stark. So it's cool to see how much this is going to affect him, and, like, how it's going to affect how he's going to do all his hero stuff and all that. So that's a pretty interesting dynamic that I didn't really see coming, obviously, because I didn't know Tony Stark was going to die. So
yeah. Also, with the whole Mysterio thing now, it's like they're opening up the multiverse or something possibility.
That's full of BS. Mysterio is just tricking Nick Fury.
Probably.
His whole thing, he's a trickster and like he's an illusionist. Like, he is so full of crap. That's
but who knows? Think. Homecoming definitely had that twist with the Vulture.
That's
so
true.
This movie could, definitely do something that we don't expect. But yeah, MJ knows that he's Spider-Man, so that was a nice little thing to add into the trailer. But yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. I already have my ticket. Yeah, for like Tuesday night or something like that. Yeah, I'm very excited for this movie.
Me too.
Very interested to see exactly on how Mysterio is used and how his character actually plays out within this movie, because everything's kind of up in the air kind of thing.
Yeah, like I'm really interested to see where this goes and how it like leads into like whatever they want to do next. Since it's supposed to be just like an epilogue type thing anyway, like just finishing up Phase 3 and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to see where they go from here now. So also it's Spider-Man,
definitely. Yeah, we both love Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, so next up we got the PlayStation State of Play. This was a really short one. It was like 10 minutes or something. Like, it really wasn't that long. 13 minutes. And I mean, I thought it had some pretty good stuff, but again, it was super short. I'm just like, why couldn't you just save this stuff for like E3 or something? I don't know. It felt like it was just so short. Like, they didn't really have a point to even show any of this stuff. But anyway, they opened up with the expansion for Monster Hunter, which looks really good. It's coming out September 6th. I'm pretty excited for that. It's like a whole new, bunch of new monsters, G-rank monsters, which basically means like harder versions of the monsters. So that's pretty cool. Then it shows some indie game that it reminds me of like 3D Dot Hero. I don't know if you ever played that. Yeah. River Bond or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but it's a whatever thing that has some crossover skins with other indie games, which is kind of cool. Then they showed this like weird. Oh no, it was the Predator game next. So. What they're saying with this Predator game is it's like a asymmetrical game, which means it's gonna be like evolved, like it's like 4 people than the Predator, which I think is cool. I think that format hasn't been used too much. Like, it's been used by what is that game called? Dying Light, right? Is that what it's
Dying
called?
Light?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You know the one. You know the one I'm talking about. Where it's like you have like there's 4 like regular people and then one person is a monster. Or Evolved, where it's also like that. So
I definitely played Evolved and then didn't when it came out.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of people's experience with that game.
Yeah.
But
played the beta and then it was like, whatever.
Yeah, because there was like a whole bunch of like loot box, or not loot box. It was just a lot of bad monetization. But anyway, I think that's a good idea for a Predator game. So yeah, they didn't really show much. It was just like a short little cinematic, so not much there. Then they showed, I think it's that the weird, no, then it was Medieval. I want to talk about the Lemur game because it's weird. Well, alright, so then they showed Medieval, which again looks good. There was a lot of frame rate issues, which doesn't look that great. I don't know why is there so many frame rate issues in this trailer, but it is kind of a turnoff there. But the game still looks pretty good. I actually like the first. I like Medieval. I played it on PS3 when you could buy PS1 games, so I thought it was pretty good. So this remake looks pretty fun. But then they have this weird lemur game, and this kind of showed up out of nowhere. I don't even know if it's a lemur. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Yeah, Away.
The survival series.
I don't know what any of this means, but it's weird.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a weird like lemur thing. And that's about it for that. It kind of just show you fighting a spider and stuff like that. And then you get into the big news, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake. So it's not dead, it hasn't really been shown since like 2015. So it's been quite a while. I also got reconfirmed today that it's going to be episodic still, which sucks, but whatever. At this point, it's like, whatever, dude. So I'm having a strong feeling, since it is going to be episodic still, I think the first part might release this year. I think they're going to do a big bombshell and be like, hey, it's going to be out like December or something. That's what I'm guessing now, but I guess we'll see. For the things they show them, like the gameplay and stuff, I think it looks really nice. Graphically, it looks amazing. The combat looks like it's from like either Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15, which if it's like 15's combat, that would be kind of bad because 15 didn't have that good combat. It wasn't that great. I'd rather if they just did turn-based again, but I know a lot of people don't like turn-based, but whatever. I think it looks nice. I see a lot of people also think it looks pretty good. We just got to see when this thing comes out, which might be like never, but we'll see. And that's about it. That's all they showed.
Yeah, they didn't show a lot for 13 minutes. So my personal opinion on the state of play is that they could have just honestly just announced these through like tweets or whatever. Yeah. Obviously, it wouldn't have been as hyper, as much of a event. But the only thing that a lot of people really cared about when I was going on Twitter was Final Fantasy VII. The Predator game is definitely going to be very ambitious and interesting just because that format of like gameplay in general hasn't really been explored all that much just because it's failed a lot.
Yeah, it has.
So I'm not sure if this will actually draw a crowd. I feel like streaming and content creators will definitely have to pull this game through because there's a lot of other people that play other games similar to this. I would like to say there's still people that still play Friday the 13th because they enjoy that game. But I wonder what Predator is going to do to make that, enjoyable for the Predator player, but also, for the players that are getting hunted.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
No, yeah, you make a good point. It might release a bunch of keys and stuff to streamers just to hype it up because those games do really well on stream just because they're perfect streamer games. So I guess we'll see. We're probably gonna see a big advertising push for that later. So.
And if not, that will be very, very bad.
Yeah. If not, it's going to do really bad. So. Yeah.
And then the Medieval remake, I'm still excited for it just because I've never played that game, but I've always heard, really great things about it.
Yeah.
Frame rate issues aside, the game still looks very nice.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks beautiful. Yeah.
Then everything else was kind of just meh, that days of play PlayStation 4 or whatever. Whatever.
Why would you buy a PS4 at this point? They right now it's a PS5 and it's gonna have backwards compatibility. I'm just
collectors or people that want another PlayStation 4 for some reason. I don't know.
That's true.
But Final Fantasy 7, I'm not the biggest Square Enix guy, so I was just like, oh look, it looks very pretty. So
it is very pretty.
But overall, I think for the majority they were not satisfied with this state of play. I think. If PlayStation continues to do their state of plays like this, I'll be okay with it. But, if they, actually make them longer and have actual, a lot of content in them, I think that would definitely be a lot better. But, this is what they wanted to do with it now. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like they should just hold off until they have, a good, 30 minutes, like a Nintendo Direct, and then show it. I think doing them, only 10 minutes and, having them, closer together, I don't know if that works as well, but...
Yeah, because even with the directs, people always hype them up, and with the state of play, people are also hyping them up because they're like, oh look, there's gonna be new games announced and stuff like that, so people expect stuff to be cool and whatever. So
yeah, I guess we have to wait and see.
Yeah. Okay. Now we get into the big news.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So, Normally on this podcast, you don't want to talk about drama. With the whole etiquette situation, that wasn't really personal to us. I'm pretty sure me and Damian don't watch him.
No, not
right?
really.
Yeah, I don't really watch him. I only see him as like Twitter memes and stuff like that. But outside of that, I'm not an etiquette fan. So that's why we didn't really talk about that situation. Obviously, we both want him to be, in a good spot, in a good mental state after everything he's done so far. But with the ProJared situation, this one hits a little bit closer to home just because me and Damian both watched ProJared at some point, whether we were, I would say I was much more of a casual fan just because he hasn't uploaded on his main channel in a very long time. Yeah. But when he did upload videos like the 1 minute videos and whatever, I was a big fan of that. So there's gonna be a lot of links in the description below on the YouTube video if you want to go through all this. So first up, let's get into ProJared's statement. So this was the first thing I saw. I didn't see Heidi's thing because I didn't follow her on Twitter at the time. I only followed ProJared. So ProJared's statement was pretty much just a bunch of, we're filing a divorce. He wants both parties to be happy, this and that, whatever. And, at first I was like, oh, okay. It looks like he's taking this in a very mature route. And then I went to bed.
No.
So,
You didn't.
and then I woke up the next morning and there was a lot of tea, if I can say that. So Heidi came out on Twitter and made this very, very public about why she is divorcing ProJared, and it's because ProJared has been cheating on her with Commander Holly, and since then, I believe Commander Holly has privated her Twitter, so obviously she has nothing to hide. Sarcasm. So there's a lot of details. She's tweeted a lot, Heidi. She has tweeted multiple threads about the situation and the things she's been through over like the past year and stuff like that. So let me just like break it down for you real quick. So the first thing is that Jared blocked Heidi on Twitter. So I did not know that was part of the divorce process. And like I said, Heidi was cheated on with Commander Holly, which Commander Holly got divorced back in September 2018 with Ross. Yeah. And back when that happened, I was kind of just like, oh, shit happens, divorces happen, life happens, whatever. So now it's kind of like, sus in terms of like really why exactly that happened. And then Heidi has proof of Jared being manipulative, abusive, the cheating. She has like text messages and all of this other stuff. So she has proof. Obviously, she hasn't put it out yet. She could obviously do it at any time on any day now, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. And what's it called? I'm going to skip over that part. The one thing I'm not going to skip over is Jared and his fan interaction. So Jared has had, or he sent nudes to multiple fans on Tumblr, Snapchat, whatever. And his nudes are just on the internet now because those nudes that he sent to those people, they've come out and been like, yeah, he's been very creepy, and he's just been sending nudes and saying that we are in an open relationship or whatever, but it's obviously not. So, and even some of them were underage, which we'll get into some of those statements later. But I mean, so far, David, what? Jesus.
All right, so
give me your input.
So I saw Heidi's tweet first. That was how I discovered this. I saw on live stream fails. I'm like, what is this? What? So I didn't even see ProJared's side first. Like I saw his side second. And with all the like stuff she was saying, I'm just like, okay, this sounds all really bad. So when I went to see ProJared's statement, it just like kind of like affirmed that because he was like not, he blocked her. His statement was just so vague and like it's just like whatever. Like I'm just like, okay, well he's definitely in the wrong. But then as soon as I saw these things I wish I could erase from my eyes forever was Jared's nudes. I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? He's literally, I'm like, you can't do that. And I feel like that's the part that's even more unforgivable. Like, the cheating part and all that. Like, that's really bad, but that's like a personal issue with those two. But as soon as you bring your fans into this, that's like that is not okay. Like you can't be like abusing your power to like just send nudes to like all these people and like mostly if they're underage and stuff. Because I heard he didn't even like ask for that age really. He just he just did it anyway. So it's just like. It's so disappointing. I'm just like, why, dude?
Like, obviously, the whole Heidi and Jared thing, like, that's personal, and them cheating or Jared cheating on Heidi is obviously very, very wrong. Yeah. But I think people are losing focus and only really on that situation and not the fact that he sent these nudes to these people. And the fact that I saw Jared's penis one time uncensored, I was just like, oh God, why is this on Twitter? Like, get me out. But yeah, and then Holly comes out with a statement, but her account's been privated. So when Jared's statement came out, she said, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm here for you if you need me.
What a clown,
and
dude.
like and like no one knew it yet, and then Heidi spilled all that tea, and then it was like, oh shit, you done fucked up, girl. So, and then she came out and was like, all right, so Holly's statement was pretty much just like, I understand, shit's going down right now, but if you want to believe someone that you don't know on the internet, and then she tweets again and says, you all know me. I'm like, bitch, you're also a person on the internet that I don't know.
Exactly. So, I'm like, how like hypocritical could you be in like the same like two tweets? It's like mind blowing. I'm just like, what are you saying?
Yeah, like obviously these two are very, very guilty in this situation, and like I don't know at this point, like they're done. Like they are canceled on the internet, and I feel so bad for Heidi and Ross just because they both had to go through this on their own time, and we now just found out because of Heidi just being like, yeah, it's all out there, whatever.
Yeah, it's just like she just like destroyed them, dude. So Jared, like, he released the statement first, right? You said.
I believe so. Let me check the timestamps on these tweets. So Jared's tweet was sent May 8th, 11:45 p.m. and then May 9th, 12:13 a.m. So yeah, Jared released his first, but before he did that, he blocked Heidi, and then Heidi found out, and then she was like, "Oh, yep, I'm fucking done." So
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I would be angry if I read that statement. Just like, that's not what happened at all. Like, I'm just so it makes sense why she would like just spill all this stuff, but yeah, basically, it's just like, again, I think people are losing focus on what the main problem is, because the him cheating stuff is really bad, obviously, and like makes his character look really bad, but it's still like a private issue and stuff like that. But when with the whole news with the fans, that's where I'm just like, okay, that now he's done, he is ruined. you know, like it's just such a, like, it's so gross, dude.
Yeah, that is. Like, sending nudes in general is just fucking dumb.
That's just stupid. Why were your face? Why did you show your face? I'm like, you idiot. Like, why would you do that?
My God. Jared's, like, body structure is just so flat.
Stick. Straight up a stick, dude.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to put in the YouTube description JonTron's response, Ross's response, but I'm not going to touch on that in the actual podcast. But PBG. So, oh, my God. PBG. You're such an innocent boy and so dumb at the same time.
Like, I don't really think... I think people getting mad at him now are, like, just should lay off just a bit. But I think he went into this a little too blindly. Like, because his initial statement was, like, defending ProJared. And, like, you gotta wait for more evidence or whatever, I think he said, or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, but, like, he was on Jared's side at first. Yeah. When, like, Heidi was going on, like, her Twitter spree. But, like, he doesn't know the full situation yet.
Yeah, and then, obviously he made a follow-up statement where he's like, sorry, I didn't know the full
he's
story.
Like, I definitely jumped the gun last night, which is what he said.
Yeah, and I again, like, I'm happy that he said, he apologized and, like, he knew he was wrong, and I think people should lay off him a bit. But no, but then again, like, you can't really, like, I know he's your friend and stuff like that, but, he did some bad things, and I know you didn't know at the time. But, like, you should, like, really talk to him in private and be like, what's going on, instead of just going to Twitter and, like, just automatically defending him,
Because, like, throwing your name into this obviously makes you look really bad. Yeah. So now, I believe Peanut Butter Gamer also lost a lot of subscribers off of just that alone. Yeah. And speaking of lost subs, I mean, ProJared is now under 1 million.
Yeah, he lost like a good like 10,000 subs, probably more than that now.
Nah, more than that. Yeah. Definitely like 50,000 at this point.
Yeah, he lost a lot.
So, yeah, he's definitely lost the most. And Holly, like, her YouTube channel was already dying as is. And then we got Normal Boots obviously responded, because that is something that ProJared was a part of, and it is a very professional PR statement. So they have mutually agreed to part ways.
Yeah.
pretty much
fired.
Yeah, get the hell out. And Game Grumps kind of just like silently just like deleted all of the videos with ProJared.
Apparently, they started deleting them before this even happened. Though it was like a few days ago. Apparently, they started deleting ProJared videos. So they probably knew before.
Yeah, maybe they knew. They were like, "Oh shit, there's gonna be like a fire going on." I mean, so we gotta like take these out.
Yeah, obviously this has been happening for months, like what she said. But with normal boots, they also knew like a month ago, I think, when someone told them about like all this stuff. So apparently they were already doing like an investigation and stuff. So probably like all these people already knew that obviously this was happening. Just now that that
now it's in the public eye.
Yeah, she made the statements, and now it's like, okay, now we could start like deleting everything. So.
Mm-hmm. And then we actually have one Twitter user, Mindfall Media, who backed up a lot of Heidi's statements. And I would, if you haven't already, just like read his tweets, because he pretty much goes into like he was actually like, at a con with them, Jared and Heidi, and like Heidi was like actually like breaking down into tears and like they wouldn't talk or whatever. So, but he did find out a while ago, like 6-7 months ago, but Heidi told him to like don't say anything because she actually wanted to save the marriage, but obviously that didn't work out. Yeah, unfortunately. And then we have some of the victims of ProJared's manipulative power and stuff like that. One of them privated their Twitter.
Nope.
So you can't see that. But the other one, pretty much, same thing. Underage stuff like that. Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah, like that's the part where it's like, it goes from like a private issue into such a public issue. I'm just like, it's just crazy, dude. Like, why would you do this?
Yeah. And like, honestly, the funniest thing about this situation is that ProJared subreddit is just a place with like ProJared memes about him now. Because like the one mod that was there, I mean, now there's like several mods, but the one mod that was hosting that subreddit, and then he found out he's like, ProJared's not a mod on here anymore, he kicked him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now the ProJared subreddit is just a bunch of memes about the entire situation.
Same thing.
ProJared as a clown and stuff like that. This is just hilarious.
Yeah, same thing with his Twitch channel. Like it's just like the mods do not care. Just like, do whatever you want. This guy's a piece of trash. So it's just like, all right. And then it just started the whole. It's over basically. Like this dude's whole career just like fell overnight because he made so many bad decisions.
Mm-hmm. And he's been doing this for a while now.
Yeah, it's been for a while.
Only just came to light. So this was going to happen sooner rather than later, and it just happened. But the one thing I want to talk about is like this like campaign about like better/wholesome YouTube game content creators or whatever. And like this one tweet really, like, I don't like it, but people are still like liking it and retweeting it. It's about like James Rolfe, and like obviously like every single person who's interacted with him has said nothing but good things about him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he is a really good person, but we don't know what goes behind, closed doors or whatever. So people are pretty much saying that, James Rolfe is like, the be like James. That's like the hashtag that this guy used in particular. And like, honestly, we shouldn't be putting these content creators on such a high of a pedestal because they're just people on the internet,
Yeah. And I like, you should just be professional. Like, the reason why James Rolfe has been on the internet for so long and has no drama is because he does keep it like professional. Like, he doesn't like air. He doesn't have anything really bad, I guess. But like, you also don't know, right? Because he like keeps it to himself, and that's what these people should be doing. It's like, I don't think we should be idolizing any of these people because they're just people, right? That's like the point of YouTube, right? Like, they're just average people. They're not celebrities, anything like that. So
they just create video game videos that you guys happen to like.
That's what I mean. Like, so much. Like the best thing you could do if you're in like, in a position like that is just like keep it professional, and that's it. Like, like don't get too intimate with your fans or anything like that. Just keep it very professional and you'll be fine, and just do what you do. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what every YouTuber should like strive to do. Just like still keep it professional. That it's a different kind of a job, but you should still like respect your fans and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But yeah, so far, this is all we know right now. ProJared and Holly are just dunzo, I think. Heidi holds most of the power in this situation, I feel, just because she's the one that came out and said all this stuff. And on top of that, most of it is true, because if it wasn't, Normal Boots wouldn't have parted ways with him. These people who have legit photos of ProJared and like his dick and everything like that, they wouldn't have come out and said anything. So everything seems clear that Heidi is telling the truth, and obviously this is everything that she's saying. We don't know, ProJared's point of view or Holly, just because they haven't said shit. So, yeah,
like it's just like it's so much proof. Like, even if you don't believe in the cheating part, like, you can't deny the actual pictures of Jared. Like, there's like literally nothing you could do to dispute that, because his face is in it.
Yeah, his face is in a lot of them.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So like, you can't deny that part. Like, there's people taking legit screenshots of like of his Snapchat and things like that and all this stuff. So even if you don't believe in the whole cheating part, like, there's nothing you could do to not believe that part. So like, he is absolutely done. Like, there's so much evidence against him, and even then, if you don't believe in the allegations, like, there's no, like, you can't really trust Jared, because like, look at all this stuff. This is, you know what I mean? It's just too much against him to like make him seem like innocent at all. But you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna lay low for a few months. He's gonna come back. He's gonna be fine, probably. Like, he's gonna be like okay for a little bit. Like, that's what happened with T. Martin and all these other people. Like,
T. Martin. What's his name? Phantom Lord.
Yeah. Oh, Phantom Lord too. Like, they just come back after like a year of hiding, and then like just they'll be fine, because the loyal people that still care about them will give them money anyway.
For some reason.
So like, no one's gonna learn anything from this situation. Like, we're going through the whole internet raid cycle right now. But after a year, no one's gonna care, and he's gonna be fine, which sucks, but that's just how it is. So
he might not honestly recover. Honestly, even like Phantom Lord, I'm pretty sure he still like streams on YouTube or whatever, but like, obviously he's not where he was before.
Oh, obviously not. Yeah, they're not gonna be where they were before.
Maybe T. Martin is still ranking in YouTube views. I'm not entirely sure, but I think honestly, ProJared might be donezo. I don't think that this guy can actually like recover from this, especially since like literally the entire internet has turned on him. Like, this wasn't even just covered by like the gaming side of YouTube. Freaking Drama Alert covered it. Actual like news outlets covered it. I wouldn't be surprised if like Philip DeFranco, who's like one of like the bigger news channels on YouTube, he's probably going to cover this within a week or so, because this is such a big situation that happened. But yeah, at this point, at this point, we just have to wait and see what else happens, because there's a lot to this story and multiple layers to it. But everything seems like, ProJared is just a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's just like, again, like, the biggest thing you could take from this is just like, don't idolize like these YouTubers. They're just people, just like me and you. So just like, make sure to always keep your expectations a little low, because something like this might happen. And then you'll feel really bad, because it's like, I like that guy. Why is this happening? Yeah. So,
but
at least we got we got good memes. So
yeah, that's my favorite part, is the good ass memes that have been coming out of this. But yeah, if you want good memes, just go on the r/ProJared subreddit. It's pretty good over there.
It's very good.
But let's get into Life is Strange 2 episode 3. So after the second episode, I was feeling a little bit wanting more. So obviously full spoilers, by the way, for this episode. So the time jump that they do, I think it was like 3 months later. So I really like that, just because it shows like, actual like things going on now. They set up like this whole thing with like the camp, and like they work on this farm, like an actual wheat farm, and they work for this guy for like actual cash and stuff like that. So I really liked where it went after episode 2, because episode 2, it felt like, where are they gonna go now? Are they just gonna keep running, sort of thing?
I also felt the same way, because also episode 2 was pretty slog. It's kind of a slog. Not much really that happened until like the very end. At least with this one, I felt like the characters, since you already met them, or you met 2 of them, like in the second episode, I felt like you get to connect with them a little bit more, because I felt like that didn't really happen in episode 2. Like, the grandma and grandpa were kind of just there. And then, like, Chris, you knew, but then, you got to run again. So I felt like with this is pretty cool that they establish a lot of this stuff, like, behind the scenes. And if you want to know how all this happened, you could just read the journal, which is what I did. Like, you could look up Sean's like notebook, and he will tell you what happened in those 3 months or so. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, I always do that. Every time there's a new episode, there's like a lot of stuff in there. So. After that, like basically you're just like introduced to everyone, like, you know, like the other people in the camp. So you like walk out and then be like, oh hey, look at all these other people. So you already met like what's her face, Cassidy and Finn, I think, from the second episode when you were in the Christmas shop thing. So now you like could get introduced to like everyone else, like Penny or whatever his name was, and Hannah, and like those 2 Swedish people that were there. I forgot
Ingrid or what?
Yeah,
whatever.
Ingrid, and I forgot the other dude's name. But basically, it's just like, you know, you just get to do chores and stuff like that, and just talk and with all the other people. At first, I didn't really like them that much. You know, it was just like, okay, I get it. Like all like hipster people. I'm just like, all right, whatever. But you know, over the course of the episode, you know, I start to like them a little bit. I never liked Finn though. I don't know why they kept like trying to be like, he's a good guy, but like not really.
Yeah.
I never liked him. He was annoying. I don't like you.
Okay. So let's just jump to like after they find out that like Daniel actually has powers or whatever.
Yeah.
So when Finn was like, yo, we should like break in and like get the safe or whatever. So I was like, all right, at this point, I'm trying to get with Cassidy. So what I did was during the part when like we're actually like in the place like about to break in.
Yeah.
Because like they got there before we did.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I'm gonna pick Finn's side, and then Cassidy got like a huge Finn, and I was like, oh, restart the checkpoint, and then I picked the other one, and I'm pretty sure the same thing happens because I don't see why, you know, actually the same thing does happen because when you say like, all right, fuck it, break in, and then when you say don't break in, Daniel just breaks in anyways.
Yeah, Daniel gets mad at you and just like Like,
yeah,
so, yeah.
He's like, you're always hanging out with her, this and that. I'm like, bro, calm down. You're always giving me like such an attitude, and like. The entire episode, I was just trying to be like, you know, a good big brother because like that first beginning part that takes place 3 months before the incident happened, I was like, all right, so like, you know, his dad pretty much wants him to like be a role model for Daniel because, you know, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to do for most of the episode, except for those times when I went back and, you know, restarted the checkpoint or whatever. But yeah. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like most of the choices are pretty straightforward for me anyway. I kind of just always try to be a good big brother to Daniel, and I basically always said no to Finn because he was a piece of garbage. I'm like, nah. So that means I just went with Cassidy instead because I'm like, yeah, he actually makes sense. I'm not gonna use a kid to like break open a safe of like a drug dealer. Where's your problem?
Like, look, man, we're gonna be set for life. This and that. I'm like, yeah, but this shit's risky, which is exactly what happened later. But let's just jump back a bit. So when we were like at the weed farm and like Daniel was like, and like, yo, let's trade places, this and that. I was like, wait, this kid's actually 9 years old, like doing this shit. Like that is actually like really crazy.
It's pretty messed up. And even your boss guy was like, hey, that's pretty messed up. We got like your little brother here in like a weed farm. It's like, you know, you can't really do anything about it, but it's just like, yeah, that is pretty messed up. Yeah,
it's a pretty messed up situation that they happen to be in. And then what's it called? Freaking Big Joe or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy just seemed like a dickhead. Like I don't know what the hell that guy's problem is, but
yeah, me either. I don't really know what his backstory is. It seems like he really doesn't want to be there either. But like, you know, he's still like there to like, I guess, guard, you know, make sure you guys aren't like stealing weed or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would like to have more development for that guy because it seems like they were trying to do something with him, but he's kind of just there to be like the guard basically. So
yeah.
But really, it was kind of a slow episode till like the midpoint because you were kind of just going to the weed farm. You know, you would talk to all of them, like cut buds and shit or whatever, and then like go back and then talk more. And then, you know, you have like this training session with Daniel like towards the middle of the episode where he got like very upset because he's like, oh, I'm not a little kid or whatever. And he like lifts this giant log.
Oh my god, bro, that shit scared me. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah,
the
freaking
fuck?
Demon child. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I mean, like I thought kids going through puberty are bad, but when they're going with puberty with like psychic powers, yeah, that's pretty bad too. So
yeah, Jesus, Daniel just like doing that. I was like, oh, he's like lifting like a small, piece of wood, and then it was a whole tree stump. I was like, Jesus Christ, this kid is definitely powerful. And like did you choose to get the haircut, or did you choose to go back?
I went back to talk with my brother.
Yeah,
I went to
same. Because I was like, I don't want to leave him again. So then he like throws a fit. So I was just like, I'll go with him. And he was like, you didn't have to go with me. I'm like, yes, I did, because I know exactly what would have happened if I didn't.
You would have gotten all pissy. It was just like, well, all right.
But yeah, and then you have that talk or whatever, and what was that talk about again? I forget.
I think it was mostly just like, he just wants to like comfort him and stuff like that. I just tell him like a bedtime story or whatever. Then he goes to sleep and he's like in a better mood. Also, like you ask him again like, oh, like you're not wearing the watch or whatever, because in the beginning of the episode it was like a whole thing with like a watch like he gave him, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna wear this forever. And then in the beginning,
he didn't.
Yeah, and then in the beginning of this episode, he was wearing like a watch Finn gave him, because like Finn is my new friend now or whatever. So
yeah.
And obviously Finn is an awful influence to him. I'm just like, like the guy, I don't know why he's like, oh no, he's everyone's buddy. I'm like, no, I don't like him from the start. He's like teaching my brother how to throw knives and crap. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't like this dude.
He definitely seemed a little bit on the sus side. I will say that.
Yeah. So but yeah, basically after that, you I think you're like late, right? Like you're
it was pretty much just like a movie montage of like, you going to work, because like they're like, we're not gonna make the player go through the same thing they just did, so we'll just make it into like a freaking movie or whatever real quick. And then you get back and they have like a party for like the two people or whatever, because like they're leaving. Did you get a tattoo or no?
I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either, because I'm like, I'm kind of like 16 or whatever, so
yeah, I'm good with that. But then when she's like, you want a bone? I'm like, hell yeah. If Persona taught me anything, it's to literally do everything.
To be honest, you're right. She was like, follow me to the lake. I was like, I know exactly where this shit's going.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's just start sprinting to the lake real quick, and you kiss her, and then you go back. So like, the first thing I did was like, I don't know, and then like she got all pissy. I was like, oh shit, time to restart checkpoint again.
Good job. I never made her pissy actually. I don't think she ever got mad at me.
Yeah, I didn't. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I was just like, I'll restart real quick. So, and then that whole thing when you were trying to like get one of the trucks. Why does this dude have like 3 trucks? What the fuck?
I know, right? Did you? Apparently, there was a gun you could have gotten. I didn't.
Oh yeah, like I didn't see the gun. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I kind of just blew all 4 of his tires, and then I just broke into the car and then just hotwired it, then dipped.
You just broke the window, right?
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck else am I supposed to do, honestly?
I was trying to find a sneaker away, but then like the game rushed me. It's like, okay, you gotta break the window now. I'm like, all right, fine. So I broke the window.
Yeah, I was kind of just like, there's actually like no other option for me to like do anything else. So I was just like, fuck it, just like break it. And then you catch them or whatever. So that whole like end sequence with like the boss or whatever, and you're kind of just like held at shotgun point. I was like, oh shit, man, someone could die here, which Finn can die. I believe if you don't tell Daniel to use his powers instantly. Yeah. Did you tell him to use his powers?
Yeah, I told Daniel to use his power, yeah. So no one died for me. Well, I mean, they got hurt, but no one died.
People got injured and hurt, but no one died. For me also, because I was just like, why the fuck wouldn't I use my powers here? Because like this guy could actually kill someone.
Yeah, I actually have like, all right, so Daniel's talking mad shit, right? He's like, yo, I could like lift this giant log, and then like he only grabs his shotgun and that's it. He just throws it away. You couldn't smack him with a shotgun with your psychic powers. You could just like levitate the shotgun, and just smack him in the face with it. Like, why you gotta talk about crap?
Also, when he like lifted Cassidy earlier,
that too, yeah,
with his powers, I was like, what the fuck, bro? Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm like, why you could just grab the dude and yeeted him across like the world. Like, I don't know why why now you gotta be like hesitant. But then Daniel does like his whole thing where he freaks out and like just like destroys the whole room basically.
Legit everything. Yeah.
So and then after that, everyone's all on the ground, all hurt, and Daniel.
No one died, I think.
Yeah, I don't think anyone died. For me, Daniel wasn't there. I think Daniel just like ran away. Because I guess he got like, I'm a monster, and then ran away. That's what I'm guessing what happened to him. But at the end, you see Sean, you know, like a piece of glass is like in his eye, so I'm guessing that he's gonna be wearing an eye patch now or something. So
yeah, another time jump.
Yeah, because the next episode preview shows, I guess, Sean all alone. So
yeah, I guess he's trying to find Daniel now or something.
Yeah,
but I mean, that entire like end sequence, I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is so stressful.
Yeah, it was like the first time in like the whole series right now where I'm like, holy crap. So yeah, I felt like this episode really picked it up because I liked the first episode. Second one was kind of boring, and then this one really picked it up again. So I'm very happy about that.
It does start slow just because you know it starts like in the past, like really far into the past, and then it jumps back in with like 3 months later or whatever. So. But overall, I honestly liked the episode a lot. It was slow and kind of monotonous, but there was a lot of character building and stuff like that. So I really did like it overall. And I'm just wondering exactly what's going to happen next. Because, we have all of these characters now. We have not just Sean and Daniel. We have Cassidy, Finn, Hannah, Penny. What are they going to do now? Exactly. Now that, we freaking did this to the guy that, was supplying them with all of this money and like a job kind of for all these years,
Yeah, and it's kind of cool that you're not like leaving right away. Like you're still there. So it's going to be interesting to see if those characters actually like go with you or not. I mean, I don't think so, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens anyway.
Who sticks around and who doesn't. Yeah. Who you'll run back into later or whatever. So
yeah.
Overall, the episode was pretty good.
Yeah, a lot better than the second one, and I think it was really good.
All right, so is there anything else you would like to add, good stuff?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so thank you guys for listening to the Travis and Damian Podcast, episode 10. We will probably see you guys 2 weeks from now.
See you.